Griffin Jr. So this one is something that you did not know about before, and I want to get your opinion on this.
Oh God.
This here.
Federal court records are revealing how the FBI broke up a plot to stop a mass shooting. Back in October, the FBI says it began its investigation into Mark Prieto after a confidential informant who spoke with him more than a dozen times over 3 years at various gun shows said Prieto called for a mass shooting targeting blacks, Jews, and Muslims before the 2024 presidential election. During a January gun show in Phoenix, Prieto tried recruiting that informant and an undercover FBI agent. According to court records, Prieto wanted to carry the plan out in Georgia because, he says, when he was a kid, that was one of the most conservative states in the country. More specifically, Prieto wanted to carry out the attack at a rap concert because he said there would be, quote, a high concentration of African Americans. During a February meetup at a gun show, Prieto began offering details of the plan, including the number of guns to be used. During this meetup, Prieto sold that undercover agent a gun for $2,000 and said he would also like to use grenades during the attack because it can, quote, cause panic. At another gun show in March in Prescott Valley, Prieto provided more specific details. That attack would take place in Atlanta at State Farm Arena on May 14th or 15th. Performing that night was rapper Bad Bunny. During that gun show, Prieto sold an AR-15 rifle to that undercover agent for $1,000 and told them to, quote, bring as many magazines as the gun could carry. In the following weeks, agents continued to monitor Prieto's movements. During an April meetup, Prieto continued to fine-tune his plans, even discussing heading east to do reconnaissance, but emphasized the attack, quote, must happen prior to the election and as soon as possible. Authorities arrested Prieto back on May 14th as he crossed into New Mexico. Investigators say he had several guns in his truck, even more found at his home in Prescott while executing a search warrant.
Yo, that shit's scary, ain't it? To think about he was trying to do at a rap show in Atlanta. I've been thinking, like low key, I've been thinking that somebody racist was gonna try to do something like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see his face because they have an image of him from the side.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that's an Italian name. But I guess that would have been his hit on the brown people. Because, like, I just got
he's gonna be the one in Arizona. Bad Bunny was the one in Arizona.
No, Arizona was State Farm. That's in Atlanta.
Oh, but Bad Bunny was no black. I mean, I would.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
He don't know the difference. Think about it.
He just know it's a rapper.
Yeah, he didn't even know that. Like that's a whole nother clientele.
Well, he said the brown, black people, and the Muslims. So that's awesome. So I guess that would have been his brown people attack. And see, people give us Aquariuses a lot of flack for being hypochondriacs. We always go to the worst case scenario. I was like, okay, well, worst case scenario, this is what could happen. And people are like, oh, what are the chances of that? And I'm like, we live in America, motherfucker. What do you mean? It's a very high chance that this will happen. Like, I don't do big crowds like that for real, just because you just never know. Like, look what happened in London at the O2, like that Ariana Grande concert. You know what I mean? So people are not well and are crazy and then are very pro Trump, pro guns, and people don't realize how guns are detrimental to our society in a way. Like, it's one thing if I got a gun at home in case somebody try to break into my house. But it'd be people out here that are trigger happy and just be doing shit. Like, that just happened out here a couple weeks ago where somebody got mad that they couldn't either, I don't know if the girl rejected him or something happened, and you just go out and you start just shooting into the crowd. And that's not the first time that that's happened here.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, but the thing is that if it didn't have happened, nothing would have changed. It'd have been just like,
Nothing.
oh man, thoughts and prayers
To the
would have
family.
been the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
It has been thoughts and prayers. And the thing that's always interested me when you talk to people and they don't believe racism exists. I'm like, okay, they believe racism exists. They're like, then who's the racist then? It's some phantom boogeyman or something that's just racist. No, the people standing right next to you, or maybe you. Those people are existing in this world.
And people get mad, just like our conversation last week. And people get mad when we bring up the race thing and say that's what it is. And people that can't relate to it because it's not in their aerial view, it's not in their peripheral, like it's every day when we wake up, like when we go to work, like when we go outside, when we get in our cars, like we can't even rest safely in our homes because of things like that.
But also I was wondering, you know what, he might have already saw that the rap shows be wild already, like a regular rap show, like NBA young boy, and be like, oh, he may not be able to make it through there, like to even get it set up. Cause think about if he showed up just randomly at a rap show, they might rob him. Like that's a quick lick. He might get robbed in the parking lot.
Because we probably would have picked up on that real fast.
Yeah, like what is this?
And went to security, like something seemed off with this person.
Yeah, why is this dude that looks like obviously he came from a Klan rally at the NBA YoungBoy show at the State Farm Arena?
Yeah. I think somebody would have felt like, because we be quick on our spidey sense, like hey. So
yeah, I'm looking at the side picture here they got on CNN.
Yeah.
Ain't no way he could have showed up.
Because he would have wore that, and everybody would have been like, okay.
Hey, but what if he can't dress like Malibu's Most Wanted? like I got to dress up like a hip hopper to blend in.
You know, it's just really weird and interesting when you really think about stuff like that. Like, you know, different avenues and areas of, like, when it comes to stuff like that. Like, because it's always, like, not trying to be funny. It's always people that look like him.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not alarming. It's not surprising anymore. It's just at this point, it's like they want us to become desensitized to it, so we like act like that. It's just the way of the land. Like this is not normal. Like this comes with Americans. Like I was watching this show on Peacock, and it's like some British shows, like reality show or whatever, kind of similar maybe to like not Desperate Housewives, like Housewives or whatever, and like the amount of women, like the British women, because it's American women on there too, but they're like, I hate Americans. like I hate y'all. Like I hate Americans. I hate everything about Americans, just the way, like y'all loud, y'all do too much, all these different things. And like a lot of the world looks at us like that, like the entitlement. They talk about like the guns and all those different things, and it's just like, it's bizarre, it's alarming, it's sad. And this is just like when we talk about dismantling racism, how can we do that when like the systems that are put in place allow it to thrive? Like how do we dismantle that? So
I mean, it's just so
it's so ghetto. It's so wild. Like that's like, it's so like, oh, I want to go shoot up a place that will like, which again, Bad Bunny concert doesn't make sense. Like that's why they said that like that. The concert, Bad Bunny. And I was sitting here like, okay, I'm thinking, I mean, not Young Thug or somebody, but I could have saw if it was, you know, a Drake concert. And even still, like I told you, it wasn't as many Negroes up in that Drake concert like people would have thought.
But he don't. But that guy doesn't know the difference, though, Dom.
Yeah, he don't, because I'm like, it's just wild. It's just
Like,
wild.
okay,
It's
Bad
crazy.
Bunny.
That's what I was like, Bad Bunny. Like, I'm like, what? All right. Nothing even
So
surprises
let's
me
get
anymore.
into the story. Go. Keep going.
I was just saying, nothing even surprises me anymore. Like, I'm not even surprised. And what?
I don't know why I was. Okay,
Yo,
there we
hold
go.
on,
All right.
no. I just want to say this, Daryl. Have I ever steered you wrong?
No. But it was. Forget it, man. Yeah, you right.
I saw
right.
it, but then you double clicked it because I did see it, and then it went back. I just want you to know that I've never steered you wrong, and I've never told you some information that was not factual, because I rest in that as an Aquarius. Thank you.
That's very true. Very true. Michael Rainey Jr. Power last week went on what you just on some random live stream, right? You go ahead. I mean, you
what? Okay, we need to be sending out the outreach to get all these guests on our show, okay? Because they be appearing in all these places. Kevin Hart at motherfucking slumber parties and shit. Like, what is it?
Kevin Hart was at a party at Casa Nine.
Right. Like, anyway, so I don't know what this show was or who this person is, but Michael Rainey Jr. was the victim of a sexual assault that was captured live on the stream by the host's sister. And you see Michael Rainey become visibly upset, not upset, but like uncomfortable. And he kind of giggles a little bit because he's so like, I don't know what to do, or, clearly he's never experienced anything like this. He reacted how you would normally think somebody, will react in that situation. And it just really, it sucks. So there was like this dialogue surrounding what happened, or what should have happened, or what should happen now that this has taken place. And the guy who hosted this live stream, publicly apologized to him and said, I understand if you need to press charges against my sister because she was wrong. Like, she had no business doing that. She had no right to do that. And a lot of people are saying, well, it's not that serious, but it's also that dialogue. But if that was a woman, it would be that serious. So what makes it different? Because this person has a penis versus a vagina.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to hear what your thoughts are regarding this.
Hey, this has been this is so crazy. It's happened to me multiple times in my life, and maybe we desensitized to it as men of like, hey, it is what it is, and we don't maybe trip off of it as much. But it's definitely wrong. But I think the idea that she was so brazen with it on a camera, like trying that, like yo, you're wild. Yes, you need to be prosecuted because you're wild. You ain't even trying to do it on a sneak tip. Like, and maybe a man may, dismiss it and not trip off of it. And maybe we need to recontextualize what assault is on men. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we need to revisit what that means. Because I ain't going to front old play. Let's, like me, I probably would have been like, hey, shorty, come on now. And just laughed it off, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest with you. Maybe I needed to check which way I look at it.
Yeah.
I just probably like, oh, unless she was like super aggressive with trying to debo me, like for it, like, yo, like shorty, like, back up. But we need to contextualize that, because if we're going to have this come to Jesus moment when it comes to assaults for men and women, for women and men, we got to kind of take a step back in all cases, because we can't just have it one way or another, even though I may not have tripped off of it as much. I'm just being honest with you. And that's maybe something, like I said, something I need to maybe have had to check. But I understand why he's upset and feels assaulted as well.
Yeah, because he was saying that he was still kind of processing what was happening, what happened, and what to do next regarding that. And I thought
I mean, he did the right thing by just kind of just brushing it off last.
Yeah, and then like I said, like I could even, you got to kind of give a props, like, hey, my sister was out of pocket. She had no business doing that. So you got to do what you got to do, because like that a lot has just transpired right now. And it's just like, for me, I was looking at her, and especially how she was doing it. I was like, okay, is she on something? Is she?
Oh, good point. That's what you, good point.
And that does not negate what happened. And I'm not taking anything away from Michael regarding this situation. And I was like, she does not seem like she's all the way there. Like, is she drunk? Is she high? Because just like how it was, this interaction was happening, like it was like she wasn't picking up on the cues. But like we said, like I think women are so used.
But I'm just trying to figure out, like, how she even had the gall to do it, though, Dom. Like, was he already dealt with her? Like, was she just on some like?
Right, like, are you under the influence of something, or are you slow? Like, there's this guy that you like on the show, and he's in the same room with you, and you're just like, I'm mashing the gas. Like, I'm mashing the gas, I'm gonna go, and whatever happened. And I think sometimes women, we also have this thought process of men are always horny. They always want to, like, they'll fuck any and everything. And so if I shoot my shot or whatever, like, I might not necessarily be this person's type, but because I know they be fucking all the time, that'll happen. Like, he'll go with it. And it's like, no, that's not how that works. Like, they still got to get turned on, like, and all these things just like us, which is also goes back to, we don't talk about men being raped. They never, like, the number of men that tell is so low. And then like the process is completely different from women. Like, the questions that are asked is kind of, even more humiliating than what happens when women go to, like, report certain things. And then don't tell your homeboys, don't tell your friends. If you got those kind of friends that are wild, and if you got those kind of friends that are wild, I encourage you and implore you to get new friends and get friends that show up for you. But it becomes like this joke. Like, even when we talk about, like, think about men and the concept of virginity, or when they lost their virginity. I have so many homeboys that had sex with women that were like in their 20s, and I'm like,
yep,
that's not like, you can't, but that's still assault. Right. Like, that's don't take them down that hole, because then it's every reason why it's not consult. Like, it's not assault. So yeah, it's wild. Like, and it's really sad, just the discourse around it, when it just should be, like we said, like, damn, that's fucked up. Like, your sister is fucked up. And there was a lot of people saying that, but it was like even more people saying, hey, take it on the chin. Like, it comes with the territory. It's part of the game. And no, it's not. I've never walked up to a man or even thought about it, even in my drunk.
It should be a part of the game.
Yeah, and even drunk. And it could have been some man I was lusting at the club. We might have been flirty, but everything that happened between us was consensual. Like, even drunk. I don't know. It's just really sad. So I'm interested to see if there will be anything
like repercussions
that'll come of it. Yeah.
All right. Our last story of the night. This was a pretty interesting story coming forward, but it's going to be something bigger. And I'm going to play this here. Hold on. Here we go.
With deep pride and soberness, I will pardon over 175,000 convictions related to the possession of cannabis and cannabis paraphernalia. Maryland legalized cannabis by referendum. In March, we conducted our first adult use cannabis licensing round, and all 174 licenses were awarded exclusively to social equity applicants. And to be clear, that's the first time that has happened in our nation's history. Yes. We know that legalization does not turn back the clock on decades of harm that was caused by this war on drugs. It doesn't erase the fact that Black Marylanders were 3 times more likely to be arrested for cannabis than white Marylanders before legalization. We cannot celebrate the benefits of legalization if we do not address the consequences of criminalization.
All right.
That's
so
what
we don't
like
stop
to
it
hear.
there. Man, so just to give some people even more context behind this. So there's 150,000 misdemeanor convictions going to be overturned. 18 of those convictions were intent to use paraphernalia. 25% of the people were in Baltimore alone. And this is going to take felonies off people. It's going to take all these different things that are holding people back. This is a big thing, man. Shout out to the governor of Maryland getting this happening, because, man, like if your state legalizes, they should automatically overturn the convictions. Like automatically, It should be gone. If you legalize it, unless you run in pounds, of stuff, and even those should be slaps on the wrist. So we got turbulence going over at Don's. Somebody up there beeping instead of calling.
Yeah, I was like, really? The nerve all day, no problems. But no, absolutely. That is what they should do, and that's what they should be doing in every state that has chosen to legalize marijuana. Like, hey, you got somebody locked up about, like silly, frivolous thing. We know how many Black people are locked up. When it comes to that, anyway, let them out, and getting that wiped off, expunged from your record, and that's the bare minimum.
Which is so.
Which low key, I'm like, can I turn around and sue y'all? Because for false imprisonment because of this shit.
Yeah, no, I think you can't. You wouldn't be able to, because it was an illegal thing then.
No. Understandable, but I mean, I think it also gives people like the opportunity to start over, to start fresh. And the massive thing about that is when you do things like that, like when you do legalize things, like you would hope that it gives the people the opportunity to be able to run business legally. Hey y'all, if y'all like what y'all see here on Everyone Needs an Aquarius, be sure to like, subscribe, and share our podcast with your friends, because we got all the tea. And if you want to check out more stuff from us, be sure to hit that button right there on the right side, so you can see other stuff, and again, share with everybody.